Whoever does not miss the Soviet Union has no heart. Whoever wants it back has no brain. Sometimes it is necessary to be lonely in order to prove that you are right. Those who fight corruption should be clean themselves. We shall fight against them, throw them in prisons and destroy them. Stalinism is linked with the cult of personality and massive violations of the law, with repression in camps. There is nothing like that in Russia and, I hope, will never again be. One has to be insincere and promise something which you cannot fulfill. So you either have to be a fool who does not understand what you are promising, or deliberately be lying. We need business to understand its social responsibility, that the main task and objective for a business is not to generate extra income, and to become rich and transfer the money abroad, but to look and evaluate what a businessman has done for the country, for the people, on whose account he or she has become so rich. I think the international community should unite, to fight such inhuman phenomena as terror attacks, and the murder of totally innocent people. Everything will probably never be okay. But we have to try for it. If you aspire to be a leader of your own country, you must speak your own language, for God's sake. The ability to compromise is not a diplomatic politeness toward a partner, but rather taking into account and respecting your partner's legitimate interests. Russian democracy is the power of the Russian people, with their own traditions of national self-government, and not the realization of standards foisted on us from outside. The more intermediaries there are, the more problems there are. Political activities in Russia should be as transparent as possible. Financing political activities from abroad is something the state should keep an eye on. Politics should not interfere with sports, and sports should impact politics. We're no longer in the Cold War. Eavesdropping on friends is unacceptable. Terrorism has once again shown it is prepared deliberately, to stop at nothing in creating human victims. An end must be put to this. As never before, it is vital to unite forces of the entire world community against terror. I think every person should have some faith inside him, in his heart. What matters is not an external display of this faith, but the inner state of the soul. At last, Russia has returned to the world arena as a strong state, a country that others heed and that can stand up for itself. I think happiness is love. I am the wealthiest man, not just in Europe, but in the whole world. I collect emotions. I am wealthy in that the people of Russia have twice entrusted me with the leadership of a great nation such as Russia. I believe that is my greatest wealth. The Russian people have unilaterally made their choice in direction of democracy in the early 90s. They will not be led astray. Nobody should be having any doubts. No one should be allowed to violently trample on the law. In the modern world, those who are weak will get unambiguous advice from foreign visitors, which way to go, and what policy course to pursue. It's Russia some people would like to get rid of. They are still afraid of our nuclear deterrent. We have our own foreign policy, whether they like it or not. The Eurasian Union is a project meant to preserve the identities of nations, and the historic Eurasian community in the new century, in a new world. It is wrong to make anyone into an enemy. It is wrong to scare the people of one's own country with that enemy, and try to rally some allies on that basis. If you want my personal attitude, I would tell you that I don't care about a person's sexual orientation. We are all different, but when we ask for the Lord's blessings, we must not forget that God created us equal. I see that not everyone in the West has understood that. The Soviet Union has disappeared from the political map of the world, and that a new country has emerged with new humanist and ideological principles at the foundation of its existence. Protest actions and propaganda are two slightly different things. If the nation is not capable of preserving itself and reproducing, if it loses its vital bearings and ideals, then it doesn't need foreign enemies, it will fall apart on its own. All attempts to appease the Nazis, between 1934 and 1939 through various agreements and pacts were morally unacceptable, and politically senseless, harmful, and dangerous. Russia is a part of European culture. Therefore, it is with difficulty that I imagine NATO as an enemy. Terrorists are always a threat to someone. If we'll be scared of them, it means they have won. History proves that all dictatorships, all authoritarian forms of government are transient. Only democratic systems are not transient. Whatever the shortcomings, mankind has not devised anything superior. In many countries today, moral and ethical norms are being reconsidered, national traditions, differences in nation and culture are being erased. It's a historical phenomenon that in 250 years, a nation could move from a colony into the most prosperous nation of the world, and the leader of the world. It is indeed an achievement, a tribute to the talent of the American nation, the American people, and an optimal political and economic system. What is a unipolar world? No matter how we beautify this term, It means one single center of power, one single center of force and one single master. It's better to be hanged for loyalty, than be rewarded for betrayal.
С праздником вас, с Днем Великой Победы! Ура!